and I'm the founder of GoodDoctors.Health. And one of the things that we help so many individuals do is just to understand whole person healing and how to use natural solutions to reverse even significant chronic disease and maximize your overall health, longevity, and vitality. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We use a lot of blood work analysis to get our biodata. So a lot of what we're working with is not just based on, do people feel better or worse. I mean, we're really using their biomarkers to know what is moving the needle, what is making a difference for these individuals. And today, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is where people very commonly are just wasting money, especially, obviously in the case of healthcare. I hear it all the time. It costs so much money to be healthy. And that is absolutely untrue. It is absolutely untrue. It is actually very cost effective to be healthy, and to stay healthy is incredibly cost effective. I'm going to show you how and why. I've been working with people for decades and understanding where to maximize their health, and how to approach, not just from a getting results, but also from a budgetary standpoint. Where do you want to be investing your dollars, and definitely where do you not want to be investing? So let's go ahead and just dive on in with regards to how to invest well in your health and where to spend the money, where not to spend the money. So let's start with food. So the big thing whenever people say, "Oh, healthy food costs so much," that's not true. That's not true at all. Trying to find healthy things that taste like unhealthy things costs a lot. That's where you are going to get into some serious price points. Trying to find things that don't have all of the bad stuff in it but taste like the things that have the bad stuff in it. Yeah, that those things are expensive. But we don't need those. You don't need those to be healthy. That is just appeasing a certain palate. So here's the thing is, what are the foods that really get you healthy and are very cost effective? Vegetables. Simple vegetables. I mean, when you are looking at vegetables, it first of all, just consuming it, they're not very expensive, right? Vegetables are very, very, very cost effective, and frankly, I mean, you get tired of chewing after a while, to the point where you're like, okay, I'm done, just because you are well fed. It's not like, again, this isn't starvation diet. Whenever I switch all of our meal plans over to a very vegetable dense diet, and then having, yes, meat and fruits and all of those things, I'm going to tell you, the food bill is incredibly low. I mean, it is ridiculous, saving hundreds. And I'm talking like a small family here. We save hundreds of dollars per month eating this way. And furthermore, like, where do so many people are they losing, dollars? It's eating out. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no matter what, if you are eating out a lot, well, not only is that putting a budgetary issue, okay, it is very, very, very difficult to find fantastic food places that are extremely healthy. And again, the ones that are, they're going to be pricey. So just something as simple as learning to prepare meals at home. It doesn't it saves you so much time, and it saves you so much money. It's very easy. And once you get through this, and can I tell you, I'm coming from, I never cooked. This was not something. I'm not like one of those people who's naturally gifted in the kitchen, and oh, I just the joys of cooking. That is not who I am at all. But can I tell you, as I've gone and I've evolved through this years, I'm starting to really appreciate, having things the way I like them, prepared the way that I know work for my system, and work for my family. So, and it's been really interesting. Even my family has really gotten into alignment on how that they actually like the foods that we are making way more than even, all of these different restaurants. So my husband even says, I'm tired of going out to eat and feeling horrible afterwards. And that's just what happens. And that's just all the temptation too, when you're eating out. So where is a place where a lot of people's budgets are being pulled? It's eating out, trying to find these processed foods that are trying to mimic something that, just stay away from it. Whole foods are so fantastic. And again, I know a lot of it. I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of you who are going to be watching this and whatnot, a lot of individuals are using, oh, it's so expensive. It just costs so much to be healthy. Why even bother? Because, I just can't keep up with this. A lot of people are using that really as an excuse. And I just want to encourage you to, the next time one of if those phrases are, is that something you're hearing, with people that you care about, or even yourself, just really do a deep check of, are you serious about getting healthy? Because let me just tell you, economics is really not one of the things that gets in the way. So, um, whole foods, very vegetable dense. Again, yes, meat, but you're going to find you just don't need the quantities of meat that you think that you do. Even like I talk to people all day long that they need more protein, and they do. Like in general, our society is just very, very deficient on protein, but it's not as much as you think. I mean, a 4 ounce piece of chicken, about this big, about the size of my fist, it's about 4 ounces, is about 30 grams of protein. Most women only need 60 to 80. So we're only looking at 2 servings about this big, and you're there. Okay, you can get an entire huge thing of chicken breast for the week, and you're not even going to get through it, eating in those quantities. So I just want to encourage you there that this is way more doable than you can even imagine. Now, next one down the list that where people are wasting their money, and it's all these different hydration drinks. It's just really not that necessary. If you like them and you want to spend the money on them, fantastic. I have nothing against them. But people who are looking to for their budget perspectives, I've seen, and I'm going off the bio data. I'm not just like randomly based on bio data. The hydration drinks do no better than water, and just making sure that you're getting enough water, and also getting away from excessive amounts of caffeine, which also again saves you a lot of money, because even if you're making coffee at home, it adds up as you're going through. So hydration, skip the fancy stuff. If you like the way it tastes and it just makes you happy and it's something that you want to invest in, fantastic. I don't see where most of them do any damage, but they're not necessary. So that's one of the easy one. Exercise. This is one of the interesting areas where I see people spending a lot of money between gym memberships, at home equipment, um, all these different things. And if you need help and really want to go that route, absolutely. But for those who are trying to do these things cost effective, I see so much wasted revenue going into into trying to exercise. It is incredibly cost effective and very, very cheap. I mean, you're on YouTube right now. There are thousands upon thousands of amazing videos of people who are doing a fantastic job showing you how you can work out from home with no equipment, and you will get the results in general that you're looking for. There's only, obviously, if you're like if you're an elite athlete, you're training for something very, very specific. If you are one of the individuals who's trying to do something very specific with regards to, like bodybuilding or competitions, that kind of thing, of course, that's a different category. We're just talking about being healthy here. And to be healthy, you can absolutely work out for $0 and get all the benefits. And I see it every single day. People's levels get right into the ranges doing incredibly simple things like body weight exercises and Pilates at home. So exercise is another place where so many people, um, supplements. Wow. Okay. So with regards to supplements, I just want you to understand where I'm coming from and looking at the biodata. you can have just as much of a problem taking too many supplements as not enough. So, in the context of supplements, sticking to just what your body is asking for. All right. I'm not a big advocate of trying to match supplements to your symptoms. Frankly, that's the issue that we're running into with the pharmaceutical industry. You're just managing then your symptoms. You're probably not even really addressing the root cause. So doing the investigative work to get to the root cause of what is it that I'm trying to fix, what is the underlying, and then do I even need a supplement? Because really food needs to be the foundation. Food has to be the foundation. You can't outrun a bad diet, you can't medicate a bad diet, and you can't out supplement a bad diet. So one of the things that I talk to people as well is, again, if you're not doing the other things, if you're not doing the food, if you're not doing the hydration, if you're not doing the exercise, keep in mind that supplementation is only going to take you so far. You really want to be starting with those fundamentals. Um, Again, I use blood work to know what the body is actually needing and what it's asking for going through it. And that can save so much money because you're not taking fistfuls and fistfuls and buying all these things that your body just frankly doesn't need. So supplementation is absolutely an area. Now, when we're getting into that though, I will say this. If you're going to take supplements, get the right quality. There is a difference. And you can absolutely see a lot of these different drugstore brands and things that you get, from the big box stores and that kind of thing. They do not have the same level of effectiveness as quality do. That isn't a marketing ploy. It's just real. But you don't need that many in order to accomplish most of your health goals. So just keep that one in mind as well. Now, I'm not going to get into it necessarily in this video, but one of the other places where people are talking a lot about, spending a lot of money on their health is in the category of biohacking. So I am a huge, huge fan of biohacking. Absolutely love it. But anyone who a practitioner who is utilizing, whether it's the hormones or the peptides or all these other things, let me tell you this, and that any of them will tell you, if you're not doing the right diet, you're not doing exercise, you're not hydrating, you're not doing the fundamentals, then you know you're really biohacking is not the place where you want to start. And let me tell you, biohacking is where it does get very, very, very pricey. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely, it makes a difference if you're doing all the other things right. It is more than the cherry on the top. It really can take your health and your fitness and your energy and your vitality to a whole new level. But it's almost a moot point if you're not going to do the fundamentals. And that's what I feel a lot of individuals are trying to do with biohacking is they're trying to use it like a magic pill, or it's like, okay, I can I can do all the wrong things, um, and then all I have to do is you know go get this IV or peptide or whatever, and then I'll be fine. There's really no cheating the system. I mean, there isn't. I've been at this for so long, and we're seeing it. And let me just tell you, you the fundamentals were true 20, 30 plus years ago, and they continue to be true today. And from this perspective, again, if somebody wants to spend tens of thousands of dollars on their health, fantastic. And I can absolutely get into the great places to be investing that kind of money. But I hear so many individuals saying, that they don't have those kind of budgets. They don't have unlimited resources for their health. So what do you need to do? And please, the biggest thing I hope anyone who's watching this understands is don't rule out that you can't have a incredible abundant health because you're on a budget. It's simply not true. In fact, if you're doing it right, it should be incredibly cost effective. So the last thing, I won't get into it here, but with regards to economics and all that, once you start to really understand this and doing this well, you can start to understand how to better use things like your HSA and getting better and better health insurance plans that where you have lower premiums that allow you to utilize your healthcare benefits the way you want to use them. The individuals that I work with, they're trying not to be on all the prescriptions. They're trying to avoid all of those other things. So there's a lot of savings just having the right health plan that fits their needs, fits what they need to be healthy, and fundamentally gives them the kind of benefits that they're looking for. So the major thing I hope you take out of this is there's really no excuse. Anyone can get healthy if they're determined to do so. And the resources are absolutely out there. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again here real soon.